Hi everybody, this video of mine is not related to any disease, but in this video I'm going to discuss the foods to avoid giving babies and young children and what you should feed them. So this video of mine is very important for all parents or parents to be. So I request all of you to please watch from the beginning till the end and do not miss any part of the video. Firstly, I am going to discuss those things which you should avoid. Number 1 comes the salt. Babies should not eat much salt as it is not good for their kidneys. Do not add salt to your baby's food or cooking water, and do not use stock tubes or gravy as they are often high in salt. Remember this when you are cooking for the family. If you plan to give the same food to your baby, and you should avoid salty foods like bacon, sausages, chips with added salt, crackers, crisps, ready meals and takeaways. Second comes sugar. Your baby does not need any sugar. By avoiding sugary snacks and drinks, including fruit juice and other fruit drinks, you will help them to prevent tooth decay. Number 3. Saturated fat. Do not give your child too many foods that are high in saturated fat such as crisps, biscuits and cakes. Checking the nutrition labels on food can help you choose foods that are lower in saturated fat. Next comes honey. Occasionally honey contains bacteria that can produce toxins in a baby's intestines, leading to infant botulism, which is a very serious illness. So do not give your child honey until they are over 1 year old. Honey is a sugar, so avoiding it will also help prevent tooth decay. Next on the list is whole nuts and peanuts. Whole nuts and peanuts should not be given to children under 5 years old as they can choke on them. You can give your baby nuts and peanuts from around 6 months old as long as they are crushed, ground or a smooth nut or peanut butter. If there is a history of food allergies or other allergies in your family, you should talk to your GP or health visitor. Next on the avoid food list is some cheeses. Cheese can form part of a healthy, balanced diet for babies and young children, and it provides calcium, protein and vitamins. Babies can eat pasteurized, full-fat cheese from 6 months old. This includes hard cheeses such as mild cheddar cheese, cottage cheese and cream cheese. Babies and young children should not eat mold ripened soft cheeses such as brie or camembert, or ripened goat's milk cheese and soft blue vein cheese such as Roquefort, as there is a higher risk that these cheeses might carry a bacteria called Listeria. Many cheeses are made from unpasteurized milk. It is better to avoid these because of the risk of Listeria. You can check labels on cheeses to make sure they are made from pasteurized milk. But these cheeses can be used as a part of a cooked recipe as Listeria is killed by cooking. Baked brie, for example, is a safer option. Next comes raw and lightly cooked eggs. Babies can have eggs from around 6 months. If the eggs are hen-egged and they have a red line stamped on them, or you see a red line with the word British line quality on the box, it is fine for your baby to have them raw. For example, in homemade mayonnaise or lightly cooked. Hen eggs that don't have the red line mark should be cooked until both the white and yolk are solid, so should duck, goose or quail eggs. Avoid raw eggs including uncooked cake mixture, homemade ice cream, homemade mayonnaise, or dessert that contain uncooked eggs that you can't confirm are red line stamped. Next on the list for foods to be avoided is rice drinks. Children under 5 years old should not have rice drinks as a substitute for breast milk or infant formula, or cow's milk after 1 year old, as they may contain too much arsenic. Arsenic is found naturally in the environment and it can find its way into our food and water. Rice tends to take up more arsenic than other grains, but this does not mean that you or your baby can't eat rice. In the European Union, there are maximum levels of inorganic arsenic allowed in rice and rice products, and even stricter levels are set for food intended for young children. Do not worry if your child has already had rice drinks. There is no immediate risk to them, but it is best to switch to a different kind of milk. Next on the world list is raw jelly cubes. Raw jelly cubes can be a choking hazard for babies and young children. If you are making jelly from raw jelly cubes, make sure you always follow the manufacturer's instructions. Then there is the raw shellfish, which should also be avoided. These raw or lightly cooked shellfish such as mussels, clams and oysters can increase the risks of food poisoning, so it is best not to give it to babies. Also, do not give your baby shark, swordfish or marlin. The amount of mercury in these fish can affect the development of a baby's nervous system. Now I will discuss those things which you should feed to young children. Like the rest of the family, your toddlers needs to eat a variety of foods. Remember, the toddler age is between 1 to 3 years. So I am giving you tips on different sorts of food to offer to your child, plus a few it is best to avoid. As I told you, the food which should be avoided I discussed in the earlier section of this video. Okay, the first in the list is fruit and vegetables. These contain lots of vitamins, minerals and fiber. It is good to introduce lots of different types from an early age, whether fresh, frozen, canned or dried, so your baby can enjoy new texture and flavors. Try to make sure fruit and vegetables are included in every meal. Dried fruits such as raisins should be given to your toddler with meals rather than as a snack in between, as the sugar they contain can cause tooth decay. Different fruit and vegetables contain different vitamins and minerals, so the more different types your toddler eats, the better. Do not worry if they'll eat only 1 or 2 types at first. Keep offering them small amounts of other fruits and vegetables so they can learn to like different tastes. Some children do not like cooked vegetables but will nibble on raw vegetable while you are preparing a meal. Next is bread, rice, potatoes, pasta and other starchy foods. These foods such as bread, breakfast cereal, potatoes, yam, rice, couscous, pasta and chapatis provide energy, nutrients and some fiber. You can give your child whole grain foods such as wholemeal bread, pasta and brown rice, but it is not a good idea to only give whole grain starch foods to under 2 years of age. Whole grain foods can be high in a fiber and they may fill up your child up before they have taken in the calories and nutrients they need. After age 2, you can gradually introduce more whole grain foods. So generally it's not recommended to give whole grain foods under 2 years of age. Next food which we should feed to young children is the milk, which is very important. Breast milk is the only food or drink babies need in the first 6 months of their life. It is best to carry on breastfeeding alongside an increasingly varied diet once you introduce solid foods. Infant formula is the only suitable alternative to breast milk in the first 12 months of your baby's life. Whole cow milk can be given as a main drink from the age of 1. Whole milk and full fat dairy products are a good source of calcium which helps your child develop strong bones and teeth. They also contain vitamin A which helps the body resist infection and is needed for healthy skin and eyes. Try to give your child at least 350 milliliters of milk a day or 2 servings of foods made from milk such as cheese, yogurt or fromage fries. Semi-skim milk can be introduced from the age of 2 provided your child is a good eater and growing well for their age. Skim or 1% fat milk does not contain enough fat, so it is not recommended for children under 5. You can use them in cooking from the age of 1 though. You can give your child unsweetened calcium-fortified milk alternatives such as soya, almond and oat drinks from the age of 1 as part of a healthy balanced diet. Toddlers and young children under the age of 5 should not have rice drinks because of the levels of arsenic they contain, which I already told you in the first part of the video. If your child has an allergy or intolerance to milk, talk to your health visitor or GP. They can advise you suitable milk alternatives. Next is cheese. This can form part of a healthy, balanced diet for babies and young children and provides calcium, protein, and vitamins like vitamin A. Babies can eat pasteurized full-fat cheese from 6 months old. This includes hard cheeses such as mild cheddar cheese, cottage cheese, and cream cheese. Full-fat cheeses and dairy products are recommended up to the age of 2 as young children need fat and energy to help them grow. Babies and young children should not eat mold-ripened soft cheeses such as brie or camembert, ripened goat's milk cheese like Chèvre, and soft blue-vein cheese like Roquefort, as I told you before. These cheeses may be made from unpasteurized milk and may therefore carry bacteria called Listeria. You can check labels on cheeses to make sure they are made from pasteurized milk. But these cheeses can be used as a part of cooked recipe as Listeria is killed by cooking. This I told you before. Next is beans, pulses, fish, eggs, and meat and other protein. Young children need protein and iron to grow and develop. Try to give your toddler 1 to 2 portions from this group each day. Beans, pulses, fish, eggs, foods made from pulses such as tofu, hummus, and soya mince, and meat are excellent sources of protein and iron. Nuts also contain protein, but whole nuts, including peanuts, should not be given to children under 5 in case they choke. It is recommended that boys have no more than 4 portions of oily fish such as mackerel, salmon, and sardines a week, and girls no more than 2 portions a week. This is because oily fish can contain low levels of pollutants that can build up in the body. Remember, do not stop feeding your child oily fish. The health benefits are much greater than the risks as long as they do not eat more than the recommended amounts which I just told you. Now coming to the iron, which is essential for child's health. It comes in 2 forms: the iron found in meat and fish, which is easily absorbed by the body, and secondly the iron from plant foods, which is not as easy for the body to absorb. If your child does not eat meat or fish, they will get enough iron if you give them plenty of other iron-rich foods such as fortified breakfast cereals, dark green vegetables, broad beans, and lentils. If young children fill up on milk, it makes it difficult for them to get the calories and nutrients they need from a varied diet. These children are more likely to lack iron, which can lead to iron deficiency anemia. This can affect your child's physical and mental development. Now coming to the foods which contain fat, sugar, and salt. The fat, first I'll discuss about fat a little bit. Young children, especially those under the age of 2, need the energy provided by fat. There are also some vitamins that are only found in the fats. This is why foods like whole milk, yogurt, cheese, and oily fish are so important. Only your child is 2, so you can once your child is 2, you can gradually introduce lower fat dairy products and cut down on fat in other foods, provided your child is a good eater and growing well. By the time your child is 5, they can eat a healthy, balanced diet like the one recommended for adults. Keep an eye on the amount of fat, particularly saturated fats, in the food your family eats. Try to keep it to a minimum. Now I'll give you some tips that help you reduce the amount of fat in your family's meal. Grill or bake food instead of frying them. During cooking, skim the fat of meat dishes such as mince or curry. Buy leaner cuts of meat and lower fat meat products such as lower fat sausages and burgers. Take the skin off poultry. Reduce the amount of meat you put in stews and casseroles. Make up the difference with lentils, split peas, or soaked dried beans. For children over 2, use lower fat dairy products such as low fat spreads and reduced fat cheeses. Use as little cooking oil as possible. Choose one that is high in mono or polyunsaturated such as rapeseed, soya, or olive oil. In the UK, oil labeled vegetable oil is often actually rapeseed oil. We come to the sugar. Brushing your teeth regularly and visits to the dentist are essential to help keep your child's teeth healthy. It's also important to keep the amount of added sugar they have to a minimum. Added sugar is found in fizzy drinks, juice drinks, sweets, cakes, and jam. It is best to offer your toddler water or whole milk to drink. Semi-skimmed milk can be introduced once they are 2 years old. You can also offer diluted fruit juice, 1 part juice to 10 parts water served with meals. Serving it with the meal helps to reduce the risk of tooth decay. From age 5, it's okay to give your child undiluted fresh fruit juice or smoothies, but stick to no more than 1 glass, that is about 150 ml a day, served with a meal. The sugar in raisin and other dried fruits can cause tooth decay. It is best to give these to your toddler with meals rather than as a snack in between. Coming to the salt, there is no need to add salt to your child's food. Most food contain enough salt already. Too much salt can give your child a taste for salty food and contribute to high blood pressure in later life. Your whole family will benefit if you gradually reduce the amount of salt in your cooking. Try to limit the amount of salty foods your child adds and always check your food labels. I hope you like this video of mine, and if you want to discuss any other health related issues, you can type your comments in the comment section of this video. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and please share this video with your friends and families. Thank you very much.